Hello, thank you for joining me today. My name is Stacy and this is Stacy Lee Beauty. I put out beauty related videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, including some wear test, will I buy it, makeup comparisons, multi-looks, brand histories, all kinds of fun stuff. So if that sounds interesting and you're not already subscribed, I hope that you will stick around and hit the subscribe button. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming on back. I really appreciate it. Today, as you saw from the title, we are testing out some new e.l.f. items. And this is this palette here and a I keep saying it wrong, the Monochromatic multi-stick. So those are the two items, even though I have tons to test out. But in this video, these are the two items we are testing today. I realized I did not mention we're also testing out, this is the e.l.f. Foundation Serum. So to get started, I have put on, this is the Juno & Co. Moonshine Miracle Cream as a primer, and then I sprayed my e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. Now I'm going to go in with, this is the e.l.f. Foundation Serum. The color I have is Fair Light. Here's what the bottle looks like. And directions: apply liberally 15 minutes before sun exposure and reapply at least every 2 hours. So definitely not long wearing, but I wouldn't really expect a foundation serum to necessarily be long. Shake it. It kind of sounds like you should though, but I'm gonna shake it just to make sure. This is $8 on the e.l.f. website. It is a pump, and yeah, that is definitely a foundation serum. I think the only one I've tried is from Perricone and the color was wrong, but you can see it's pretty, it would run if I like held my hand up. So let's try this out. If I put it, that is so soft. It just feels, it feels like you're putting a serum on your skin and not makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna try to go kind of the old school way and put on with my fingers, see how that goes. You're just, you know, looking for a little bit of coverage. So let's try it if I put it on the Tati Blendiful and see how that goes. Well, actually, now I'll put it on my face like I did and then blend it out with the Blendiful and see. Let me know if you guys would like to see a full review on all these items today, because then I can do an in-depth review kind of. Actually, I could do a review of all my, I don't know about all, but the hits and misses from my e.l.f. collection. Let me know if you very lightweight coverage, feels lightweight. So then let's see if you wanted to apply another layer just to see what happens with a brush. This is the e.l.f. Buffing Foundation brush. I need to clean my brushes, so I'm just going to use the color switch just to make sure that I have any other foundation off of there. Let's test out and see what happens if I put the foundation directly on the brush. Try it. Okay, so with putting on another layer, I feel like obviously it's not going to be like a full coverage or anything, but I do feel like it gives a little bit more coverage. So without looking cakey, it still looks dewy, I feel like, on my skin. And I do have dry skin. And I know it's probably hard to totally tell because I have a layer on already, but I don't think I really like applying this one with my finger. It seemed like it was, like this is blending out much easier as well. So I feel like using a tool with the foundation serum is gonna probably be your best bet. Cover it a little bit more. I mean, it's not dramatic, but if you wanted just a little bit more coverage. On the other side, let's see what happens if you put it on a dampened beauty blender or sponge. I think this is maybe an Ulta one, I'm not quite sure. This is first impressions. Like I said, let me know if you want full reviews in depth, but I'd say first impressions, you can build it up. And I think that for the most kind of sheer, if you apply it with the Blendiful or probably a beauty blender sponge, it seems like with the brush I was able to get just a slight more coverage. So depending on what look you're going for, but yeah, that feels very, it just feels like you're putting foundation or serum on your skin. So feels very nice, really like that. And my skin does not look dry at all. I'd love to know if, as my next few videos come out, if you guys notice any difference with my hairline. I'm trying out this serum that I got off Amazon. That I got off Amazon that is supposed to help with like hair growth. And my hair overall is pretty thick, so I don't need it, but I was kind of getting thin right there, so I'm trying that out. I mean, I took before pictures, but I'm just gonna be kind of curious to see. Okay, so since I have my base down, I think it's time to go on to the eyes, and then we'll come back and finish out palette, obviously. What one? I want to get the name correct on this one. This is the Haute Chocolate Eyes Sugar Cookie, and this was on my Will I Buy It a few weeks ago, and yes, I did buy it. So there is no mirror. This is $10. And yeah, those colors are really pretty. There's some shimmers, mostly mattes. I'm gonna take, this is an It brushes for Ulta, the 322 all over shadow, and I'm going to go in just to set a base down with this color here. And I'm just interested to see if it really makes that much of a difference with how it looks. I'm gonna put Milani eyeshadow primer on this eye just to see if they apply differently. A beige color, just your basic, and put that all over the lid. So there's the side without primer. I feel like they are pretty close. The primer side is a little bit more pigmented, but pretty close for how they apply. I'm gonna take this, there's no shade names on these. Yeah, there's no, so on the back of this, it is nice to give you a little bit of a direction for kind of a tutorial if you want. Apply a light shade all over the lid, and then a medium contemporary shade in the crease, and blend out to contour. The darkest shade along the lash line and outer corners of the eyes for added depth and smoky effect. So that's kind of nice. I'm going to take this shade right here, this orange, and I'm going to put that in the crease and a little bit above because I have hooded eyes, so that's why I go above. And I'm just going to sweep that across and kind of do a circle. Oh, this is a Sigma Airbrush Blender Brush F63. That is really pretty. Pretty pigmented, I'd say. Easy to blend. Yeah, okay. So now we will go to the side with the primer. Let's see that. I think they pretty much applied and blended the same on both eyes. I'm taking, this is a Do You Care brush number 14. And I'm going to go in with the shade above it. This one up here. It's just slightly darker, more of kind of a rust color. And there's so many looks to do with this palette. And I'm gonna start with tapping it on the outer corner. And then just work my way in towards the center. And up into the crease, just kind of in that socket of going, eye socket going back and forth in kind of circular motion. So I'd say this is pretty pigmented too. You could definitely put it on with a fluffy brush and kind of disperse it a little bit more, or like I'm doing when you pat it down and then kind of blend it out. But very easy to blend too. For this one, I actually think the side without the eye primer was a little bit easier to blend. I'm talking about just a smidge, so not a huge difference, but just as an FYI. So now this is a Sigma Pointed Crease E43 brush. I haven't really used this one. It's a little bit different. So I'm gonna try this one with this color down here. Now on the screen, that's looking more of a bright pink to me, but when I look at it in person, it is more like a mauvey rose. Let me see if I swatch it, if that gives a better color. No, a little bit. Yeah, so yeah, I feel like that gives a better idea, because even applying it with the finger, that's definitely more of a topper if you apply it that way. See how that's kind of just... So yeah, to get the payoff for metallic, you definitely need to wet your brush. And I don't feel like there was a huge difference between having an eye primer on and not for how these applied either. I know this Sigma, this is Pointed Crease E48, but I'm gonna use this for below the brow bone. I so need to do my eyebrows. And I'm gonna try this color right here. It has a little bit of shimmer to it. Looks like it's barely getting on the brush. Oh, but it is, there's a little bit. Okay, so that one I think is definitely gonna be like a shadow topper. That, or, oh, that, actually it's swatching more than it is on that brush. I don't know what I'm going to use that brush for, because it seems like anytime I've used it, maybe you got to wet it or something. Anytime I've used this brush so far, I don't really get much color from it, so I don't know. I'm going to do a different brush. This is the Do You Care 23, and go in with that color. And just to kind of buff this out. Okay, this is really blending up that other color. Wow. So just be aware of that orange, the first color, not the first color, the second color I put down in my crease and above. It's very easy, like now when I'm going back, it is just kind of buffing that all up and out. So that color really does blend really easy. So just kind of be aware of that. I mean, it's not really moving the product all over, but it is kind of dispersing it a little bit more. So if you didn't want that look. Okay, so I think that is a pretty eyeshadow look. And here's close up of my skin with the foundation serum. On mascara and some concealer. So let's try out this, like I said, is the Monochromatic multi-stick. Here is what the packaging look like. And this says apply to eyes, lips, and cheeks and blend with a brush or fingertips. And the color is Glimmering Guava. Ooh, it feels really soft and creamy. Okay, that is a lot of color. face brush, tapered brush, face brush, and okay, that's not gonna blend that out. Let's take a kabuki brush. Okay, that takes a little bit of work to actually blend it out. Not too bad, but I feel like blend it out easier with the Beauty Blender, but I feel like, I don't know, it's okay. Let's see, maybe the Beauty Blender and then go over it with a brush. Yeah, I think that would be the best way. And so maybe if you just, oh, whoa, look at that. That's way too much. Let's take that Beauty Blender. I did not think it would go on that much. Okay, so if you put it on your finger, you definitely have more control over the pigmentation. If you just put it on with the thing, as you can see, you get a lot of color. So let's just kind of buff this out. I don't know. I'm definitely gonna do a head-to-head with the NARS. I figure one side I'll do elf ears, elf eyes, cheeks and lips, and then the other side the NARS. Okay, so actually I like that better. So putting it on where it looks like it's a lot, kind of tapping it on where it looks like, whoa, that's gonna be way too much. So I mean, that's a little bit more work than some cream blushes that I have, like the Tower 28, and then kind of blend it in with a damp Beauty Blender, and then this is a kabuki brush just to kind of blend it up. I should be going up, not down, and then just take a brush and kind of tap that in to blend out. Actually, I like that. I like that technique, I think, the best on first impressions. More of a steps than some of the other blushes, but it does look pretty glowing. I feel like it does give you a glowing look. So actually, I like it. Okay. My very first impression when I applied it on was like, I don't know, but I actually like it. Okay, so if you put it on just on this, you're definitely not gonna get kind of the edges, or it's gonna be harder to get the edges. So let me get a makeup or lipstick brush. Well, this is actually a Sigma eyeliner brush E05, but I'm going to use it for lip liner or lipstick. So let's see, I have a feeling I will get better coverage and better control with this. Definitely. Definitely much better with a lip brush. Now, if you're like me, I usually don't use a lip brush. I just usually use lip products that I can just easily put on. So I probably won't use this really for lipstick, just because I know myself, but maybe for the blush, and then like I said, later I'll try for eyeshadow. But I like the color. Whoa. But I like the color, and it feels nice. It's creamy, no scent, and it does have a little bit of sparkle in it, so I like that. So overall, I like them. This is my finished look. And so just to kind of recap my first impressions, very first impressions, but on the palette, I like it. I'm definitely going to do more looks with it. The mattes seem to be more pigmented than the shimmers. The shimmers are more of a topper, or you got to wet your brush. The monochromatic multi-stick, I think I'm just not a big fan of multi-sticks because I have the NARS and I don't really use it, but I do like how the blush looked, and I like how it looks, but just for the application and that it did take a little bit longer, I don't really see me reaching for this one too much. Like I said, I am going to try it for the comparison. Here was my first impressions on those two items. If you want to hear more on e.l.f., I have the Bite Size and some eyeliners and the Ride or Die lip balm. So if you want to hear more about those, make sure you are subscribed because I will be doing some videos on those as well. And thank you for watching. Let me know down below if you have ever tried e.l.f. cosmetics, and if you have, what is your favorite item? And I just realized I also forgot to say my first thoughts on the e.l.f. foundation serum. Very happy with this. It went on so smooth and just so lightweight. It feels like a serum. It really doesn't feel like I'm wearing anything. Skin doesn't look dry. So far, first impression, am happy with this and definitely going to be using. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a good week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.